Hey everybody, this is Kim Danke, your Shibboleth new member fast track instructor. I hope that you have had a great day. We've had breakfast and been out to eat with friends, and then we hung out by the pool today, and I've just finished drying my hair. If you are on Facebook, please say hello like Deborah did. Welcome. We're glad that you are here. And if you are in the Zoom room, if you don't mind, click where it says chat. Then where it says all panelists, click there. Then choose the option for all panelists and attendees, okay? And in that way, when you type in, everybody can read what you say so that I'm not just answering random questions out of the air. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Laurie. Hey, Dawn and Caitlin and Mr. Lee. Good evening. Welcome, everybody. I'm so glad that you are here. When you hop on, please say if you are new, here for a refresh, or if you were here last night. I like to know that. And I also like to know where you're from too. Hey, Tina and Stephanie and Donna, Janet. Hey, everybody. Hey, Michelle on Facebook. Those of you who are on Facebook, if you don't mind, please click the share button for me in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, and then hit share now, and it'll be off into the world, and someone who needs it will find it. Hey, Ellen from Central Florida, new member. Awesome. Glad you are here. If you're watching on Facebook or here in the Zoom room and you are not a member, please know that we have a membership special that is going on right now, and it ends tonight at midnight. If you don't have your membership yet, please go to shibbolethdeals.com and get your lifetime membership for $59. What you are paying for is support, education, tools, resources. You get all of it for life. Okay, so it is a deal. All right, so go ahead and grab that if you are not a member, but still hang on tonight. Tonight we are doing a webinar called Simple Food Combining, and it is very important to understand how to combine foods in a way that controls insulin. Okay, so just a little bit of, hey, Joanne on Facebook, a little bit of housekeeping. Again, if y'all don't mind, look next to your name in the chat. Make sure that it says all panelists and attendees. If it says that, then everybody will be able to see. But if it doesn't, click where it says all panelists and then choose the option for all panelists and attendees. Okay, June is here. Hey, June was here last night from Beaufort, Georgia. And Arden, welcome. She's a new member. We're glad you're here. If you are a member on Facebook, please type in how much weight you've lost. I love to encourage people. If you're a member and you're here in the Zoom room and you've lost some weight, go ahead and let us know. Oftentimes the people in the Zoom room are the newbies, but a lot of people watching on Facebook are our experienced members. Let's see. Arden is a new member, here to help a new member. Awesome, Arden, that is awesome. I love that. Hey, Caitlin. Caitlin, you're Premier Caitlin? Tell me if you're Premier Designs, Caitlin, from Spokane, Washington. Please tell me if you are the Caitlin I know from Premier Designs. And Dawn was here last night from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Hey, Tina. Tina is returning from last night. All right, and Mr. Lee is from Midtown Atlanta. Tracy missed last night, but she's new from Kentucky. Hey, Tracy, you can go back and watch last night. It is extremely important to watch last night because last night is the lifestyle overview. You don't want to miss that. And then Stephanie, I'm new. This is my first webinar. We're glad that you're here. Hey, Rachel started last night from Florida, and Susie returning from last night. Awesome. Hey, Kevin and Cindy, y'all are back. That's awesome. Returning from last night. Tom and Pauline, new members. Hey, Stacy Fairfield from Woodstock. Susan Gray was here last night. She's from Florida. Rachel Barnes, hey there. Raymond Cox, new member last week. Tracy, all right, Tracy has lost 7 pounds in 4 days. Way to go, Tracy. That's what I'm going to start doing. I do that in my little morning show called the Shibby Show when y'all share your weight loss like that. So that was for you, Tracy. Let's see. Tina started last week, lost 5 as of this morning. Awesome. We got Janet. Oh my goodness. 10 pounds, Janet from Louisiana. Let's see. Caitlin. Hey, Caitlin. I thought that was you. Oh my goodness. I'm glad that you are here. It's awesome. You're going to love it. We got Elizabeth McDuffie, 21 pounds since May 1st. Fabulous. I love it. Okay. Christy had a perfect day today. I know it's all water weight, but I've lost 5 pounds since yesterday. Okay. I have something to say about that water weight. Water, it takes up space and it weighs something. So bye-bye to that water that was sitting there. You are going to be normalizing your hydration levels this week, and that's a good thing, Christy. Okay, so it's awesome. Hey, Laurie, where do we go to watch last night's meeting? I'm going to show you in just a second. Hey, Emily Carter from Cumming, Marilyn Lewis back from last night, and Tiffany from Illinois, been here a week. Sherry Hicks started today, and Emily down 13 pounds after 2 weeks. Way to go. Awesome. These are great results. Hey, Robin, I'm so glad that you joined in. That is awesome. And this is for Robin because I know she's lost 30 pounds just this past week. So glad y'all are all here. Okay, what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to answer that question about watching last night's meeting. I'm going to do that first because others of you may have that same thing. Okay, so that same question. So let's share our screen. So I'm going to the Shibboleth website. If you are a brand new member and you have not finished Fast Track, your website should be opening up to Fast Track each time. If it doesn't by chance, or you're not a new member and you've come back for a refresh, hey Jan, and then you click dashboard. Once you click dashboard, if you're a brand new member, your Fast Track, which is right here, will show up first. If you're not a brand new member, you have to click right there. Okay, so there's laps, lap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You need to do all of those laps, okay? So where you are going to find last night's webinar, lap 2, right here where it says watch the daily Fast Track webinars, when you click there, Laurie, there is the Sunday night webinar right there. And so you can go ahead and watch that right there. So if any of you missed last night's webinar, it's just right there, okay? The other way to find that would be to click on the Fast Track video library and then daily Fast Track webinars. But the reason that I showed you going through the Fast Track laps is you need to trust the lap system. And I want you to put on blinders this week. Put on blinders. Our website is extremely robust. Lots and lots of info in there. But I don't want you to get distracted. So you focus on the Fast Track laps. So let me just kind of explain how those work real quick. Lap 1, you read this paragraph. You can even watch this video. This video will be me sharing my screen with you on how to do all of those little things. And it might look like a long list, but a lot of them are just joining some of the Facebook support groups. Some of them are just looking at there's your welcome packet. Okay, there's your welcome packet and guidelines. Here's the combination chart. Here's some phase 1 combination chart and rules. Travis's fast start meal ideas. Okay, so some of these are just little paper and documents that people would want to have in the beginning. So it's not like these are hard to do. But what I want you to do is you hover your mouse. If you're on a phone, you lightly touch the information eye that you see right there. But if you're on a computer, and if you have access to a computer, I think you may enjoy doing this on a computer just a little bit more. If you only have a phone, it works fine on the phone, but I'm just saying for optimal purposes, you might enjoy doing this on a computer just a little bit more because you can see more, okay? And then what you do is you read that black box. This black box is going to be different for every single task. The black box is there. It's going to be like you and I were talking. So let's say that when we finish this webinar tonight and you're all excited and you want to go do lap 1 and work on lap 2, you want to get those done before tomorrow night's webinar, then you wouldn't know what I wanted you to do about those tasks unless you read the black box. It's kind of like we're still talking, okay? Because I wrote down what you need to know in the black box. But to watch last night's webinar, just go into lap 2 where it says watch the daily fast track webinars, okay? All righty. Well, we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about the meal combinations. So last night we went over the basics of our lifestyle. So the way that I see this is we now have standards for living and we have 5 daily objectives. We want to get our water in. At least 4 of this size water bottle, but however you measure it, 64 ounces is your minimum to say that you have had a perfect day on that part of it, okay? But we shoot for a gallon, okay? Number 2, you want to journal all the foods that you eat, everything that goes in your mouth. There are no idle bites on planet Shibboleth. You just go ahead and write it down if you eat it, no matter what. And this helps you learn the lifestyle. It also helps you eat very mindfully, okay? Because if we want results, we have to do things mindfully. I know that I used to just walk by and just pop whatever bite I wanted to in my mouth, but that did not help me. Okay, so now I do things more mindfully. The third thing is you're going to eat in a way that controls insulin. We simply call that combinations. We're going to combine foods in a way that control insulin, and that's what we're going to go over tonight. And let me just tell you right now, secret alert. This is one of the secrets of Shibboleth. See my shirt? My shirt right here says Shibboleth, and then it says it's a secret. This is one of the secrets, all right? And then we're going to portion control our foods. We simply use our 2 hands. We move our fingers as close together as possible. We move those thumbs out of the way. We put our hands together as close as possible. We lower our hands down over our food. And if we can't see our food, we've portion controlled. You don't want it any thicker than the thickest part of your hand. Now, obviously, if you're eating a steak and it happens to be a thick steak, you would just have to know that that was reasonable, if you like 6 ounces, okay? Because sometimes like filet mignons are taller, obviously. And then we're going to stop grazing. So you can have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We like for you to have 4 to 6 hours between meals. And then if you have a moment of mental weakness where you cannot make it, then that's when you use an approved freebie, extra, or snack. Okay, but it needs to be an approved one, and you don't want to go over that amount. And that if you go over that amount of food, then that would not be a perfect day anymore. Okay, but that timing one is for optimization because we know that people live different lives, and some people like to eat breakfast and some people don't, and it's totally fine if you don't, doesn't matter. But just you don't want to graze all day. Okay, so that was the quick version of last night's webinar. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to start talking about combinations. And we're going to start familiarizing you with the foods that go into these categories. Because what's really important in the beginning is for you to start to figure out the foods you like. You don't have to eat anything on planet Shibboleth that you don't like. So if you ever hear me say something that you don't like, scratch it off your list. There are thousands of items, okay? We're going to figure out what you like, and it's really just some simple swaps that we're going to make. So tonight, when you hear me start talking a little bit later about a loaf bread, if you eat loaf bread, your ears might need to perk up right then. A tortilla, your ears might need to perk up. Milk, ears need to perk up, okay? Because it's really just some simple swaps on some new things you're going to buy at the grocery store. Thank you, Tanya. Let's see. Christy says a single pickle spear about 2.5 hours between meals has been a saver today as I navigate through the day learning. Christy, that's awesome. Okay. Because that's what you do. You did a single spear. You didn't overdo it. You did just enough. And that is exactly what you do. You keep it super, super simple in the beginning and get all these new daily disciplines down. We got to get these new habits in place. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to recap the cooking oils. Hey, Miss Polly. And then I am going to go over condiments because we didn't even talk about condiments last night. And then I'm going to start reading these categories to you. I will only read them when we come to a brand new category. Okay, cooking oils. This is another secret to the Shibboleth lifestyle. We don't use long chain triglycerides. Hey, Janet, we don't use long chain triglycerides. Long chain triglycerides have a great propensity to be stored on the body as fat. I heard that. I said, well, forget it. I don't want anything that's going to have an easy opportunity to store on my body as fat. So long chain triglycerides are olive oil, canola oil, vegetable oil. We're not going to use those for a perfect day. If you have it on a holiday, that's fine, but not on a perfect day. Okay, so what we're going to use is 100% MCT oil. MCT stands for medium chain triglyceride. Now, this has almost no propensity to be stored on your body as fat. This is a very quick burning oil. It burns up like that. Boom, it burns up. And it burns up so fast that it speeds up your metabolism just a little bit and burns a few extra calories while it is in the digestion process. But it has almost no propensity to be stored on the body as fat. Oh, yes. Raymond is asking if you journal a holiday. Yes, Travis will tell you that that is actually one of the most important days to journal because you want to know, sometimes people have a hog trough day, okay? And this is my little friend. Some people have a hog trough day, okay? And you need to realize why you're doing these things, what you're doing, especially if you're trying to stop that habit. It's really, really important. So yes, journal a holiday, please. Okay, you could also use coconut oil, but coconut oil is not 100% MCT oil. It's 66% MCT oil, but you can still use it. This is just our most highly recommended one. You can also use ghee butter, Ghee butter. Now, this butter is just regular butter that has been clarified. That just means all of the milk sugars and milk solids have been pulled out. So just the fat is left, and it will serve you well when you need butter. Okay. Let's see, Raymond, I was shopping for MCT oil today at Walmart. It did not say if it was 100%. I know that's why when you read the ingredients, you've got to flip the bottle over. Don't trust any marketing on the front. Flip it over to the back. And if the back says 100% medium chain triglycerides in the ingredients list, then you're good to go. If you want to save yourself some time, energy, and effort, just go to myshibboleth.com/shop and get the Zero Drag brand. But you can find it out and about in other places, Raymond. I just say it's easy to get it from us because we know it's the one we prefer. Okay, 0-calorie cooking spray. You can also use that. So any of these work. Let me tell you the deciding factor about how I use them. If I am cooking a protein plus fat, let's just say whole eggs, because you got your whites, which are the protein, you've got your yolk, which is the fat. If I am cooking a whole egg, I use 0-calorie cooking spray. If I'm doing just egg whites and there is no fat, then I'll use MCT oil. 100% MCT oil. So that's how I make my decision. If it's a protein plus fat, I don't need to add fat to it. It already has fat in it, so I use this. But if I'm doing a lean protein, I use this. And I use ghee butter mostly in recipes for me, okay? So that's a recap of the cooking oils. A couple of other things. We only use MCT oil for 3 reasons. Cooking, no matter how you cook it, cooking. Recipes, and making approved salad dressings. Those are the 3 ways that we use MCT oil. We do not take it as a supplement. We do not put it in bulletproof coffee. No coffee with MCT oil in it, and we don't add it randomly to shakes for no reason. Let's see. Donna says Pam Spray says 0 calories for a fourth of a second. Oh, I got you. Yeah, it'll be okay though. But that's interesting. I haven't ever read that, Donna. Thank you for pointing that out to me. Okay, condiments. Let's talk about condiments. Condiments are those things that make your foods taste like you want them to taste oftentimes. Let's think about a piece of chicken breast. You take a piece of chicken breast and you can make it taste like Italian chicken. You can make it taste like Mexican chicken. You can make it taste like barbecue. You can do all kinds of things with it, and it all has to do with the condiments because the chicken tastes the same, right? So we got to know how to use condiments. So we have a rule. Well, first of all, there is an entire section on condiments in the food library, but I want you to feel confident picking them out in the grocery store without having to go to the food library every single time. So the condiment rule is this: 5 2, and few. 5, 2, and few. This is a sprinkling, okay, and I'll explain that. So when you are going into the store and you are looking for something that you possibly want to use as a condiment, all you need to do is look at the ingredients, the nutrition label. You're looking for 2 bits of information. You're going to look at the sugar content and the fat content. You want it to have 5 grams of sugar or less per serving and 2 grams of fat or less per serving. And you just don't want to use more than 50 calories worth of condiments on a meal. Now, let me talk about having multiple condiments on a meal. You can have multiple condiments on a meal. So let's say that you make yourself a 96% lean ground beef hamburger patty and you want some cheese. Well, there's a Borden fat-free cheese would be approved. There's lots of fat-free singles that are approved. Put that on there. That's about 30 calories. If you like mustard, mustard typically is 0 calories. I've seen some that are 5, but let's just say it's a 0 with French's mustard. Then if you want ketchup, you got 20 more calories that you can play with ketchup. That's typically a serving of ketchup. So that would be 3 condiments on there. If you wanted to back off on the ketchup a little bit and do a thin slice of tomato or a thin slice of onion, no thicker than your pinky, you could get that in. So you can have more than 1 condiment on a meal, but you do not want your condiments to go over 50 calories, and you want them to meet that 5 and 2 rule. Goat cheese, I would have to look that up, Kevin, probably. Raymond, avocado can be a condiment and it's also a category 6. It's a category 6 superfood. So you can eat it both ways. Avocado is very fatty. So you just want to make sure it's good fats, but you want to make sure that you don't eat that with anything that's going to bring an insulin release. But yes, as long as you don't use more than 50 calories worth of condiments, of the avocado, it can be a condiment. And then let me look up the goat cheese real quick. Goat cheese. Okay, goat cheese is not on here. Now, I'm not saying it's not approved. We would just need to see it. Okay, so you might want to ask about that, Kevin. We have a group called the Shibboleth Fixed It. It's a Facebook group. You might want to, actually what I would do first is I would go into the group and use the little search feature and type in goat cheese and see what's there. Let me just type in cheese and see what I come up with. But there's going to be a lot of things that pull up cheese. But you might have to ask that, Kevin, in the Shibboleth Fixed It group. And let's see, Christy, my service was going in and out. Was that 5 grams? Nope, it's the other way around, Christy. And I'm gonna give you all a little tip on remember that just a second. Let's see. Yeah, we'll have to look that up and try to find that out another way. Okay, on the goat cheese. Let's see. Dawn, tomatoes are an energy carb. Can we put with a 4? Okay, Donna, only if it is a thin slice, no thicker than your pinky. Because tomatoes, we're going to go over that in just a second, though. That's a great question. Hey, Donna, let me talk about that when I get to energy carbs tonight. And let's see, Raymond. So what we're going to do about what Raymond is asking is I'm going to look up avocado real quick. Oops. Because I'd rather just go ahead and let us look at it. Avocado. So right here, it's a category 6 superfood. So 1 tablespoon could be used as a condiment. You could use a 1/4 cup as an extra, or in maintenance, you may use half as a category 6 when combining it with another protein. So you could have, like, let's say chicken breast, avocado, and fibrous carbs, or you could have superfood, which is this avocado with a fibrous carb. Use no more than a 1/4 cup. So this food library is where it's at. You want to come here to this food library and you want to read the description right down here, and you want to read the approved portion and all of that. Okay, so that's where you're going to get that information, Raymond. And let's see, fat-free feta cheese is approved. So fat-free feta, Tracy, is approved. Yeah, you know what? Some of when we get to our milk, it doesn't have lactose in it, so that's going to be helpful. The weight loss meter, Dawn is asking what the weight loss meter is. And the weight loss meter is a way for us to see which foods are the best for weight loss. In fact, we're going to talk about that more tomorrow night. But the lower the number, the better. It's kind of like playing golf, okay? The lower the score, the better. But the weight loss meter goes from a -3 to a +3. 0 right in the center, not going to help you, not going to hurt you. Negative numbers are better for weight loss. Positive will not bring you out of efficient fat burning. If you are in EFB, it won't bring you out of it. But if you do them all the time, you probably wouldn't see the results that you want. You're welcome. You're welcome, Christy. Let's see. Yes. Okay, Mary, you may not be able to access the food library yet because you have not taken your fast track test that is in lap 2. Okay. When you take the fast track test in lap 2, right here, y'all, take the test and earn your first badge. It says fast track complete on it. You are not complete. All that does is open up your food library so that you can play in it. So y'all need to take this test right here. But see, this fast track was written in a way that if you do it in order, it makes sense. Okay, so you want to do that. But you can go ahead and take that, Mary. Tracy, I didn't even know that. Sorry. Okay, awesome. Well, let's get back over here to the condiments. So 0-calorie condiments work fine. 15-calorie or less spices and seasonings, salt and pepper, salsa, reduced sugar ketchup, mustard, hot sauce, Kraft fat-free mayo. Obviously, that's a small list. But let me just give you an example of what I do when I go into the grocery store. So I normally buy Classico traditional pizza sauce. I buy that at Kroger. Well, I was in Publix buying something else and I needed to go ahead and get some. Let's see, are the laps meant to be 1 week? So no, they're 1 day. So on these laps, this really was kind of Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And the reason that they're not named that is because some people get started on a Wednesday and they can just go to lap 1, okay? But it's really meant to be 1 a day. That way you don't take forever getting caught up on the new things and how to use the website. Yeah, Tiffany, I like that. There is now sugar-free ketchup okay to use? Yes. Okay, so I went into the store and they didn't have what I normally buy. They had 6 pizza sauces on the shelf, but I didn't want to stand there in the store and pull out my mobile friendly website and click, looking them all up. That would have taken so much longer. So I just applied my knowledge. So what I did was I turned all 6 of them around on the shelf. I started scanning the sugar content. If it had more than 5 grams of sugar, I turned it around. It's out of the running. It doesn't qualify. And the reason I can remember sugar is 5, the word sugar has 5 letters in it. Okay, so there's a little trick on remembering that. And then after I had turned some around, I then looked at the fat content. If it had more than 2 grams of fat, I turned it around. So out of the 6 that were on the shelf, 2 worked and I bought 1. So that's how I applied this rule standing right there in the grocery store aisle. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Dawn is asking this. Let me come back over here. So first of all, let's look at this. This one says, this is in lap 1. It says watch the 14 fast track videos. All 14 take you less than 1 hour to watch. But when you get over to lap 2 and it says watch the daily fast track webinars, we would prefer that you participate in person with us at night, like we're doing right now. We would prefer that. But if you can't, they are available and on demand for you right there. Each one is about an hour. Okay, but if you participate live, that's great. If you can't, it'll be recorded and put right here for you. Let's see. And then Raymond, I'm not seeing the food library. I have earned a badge and have 34 points. Well, let's look that up in the end, Raymond. Let's see. And Tiffany, my husband is allergic to dairy, eggs, nuts, and wheat. Is it possible to make the same dinner, at least for the whole family, with his allergies? Well, you're going to have to look around a little bit, but let's click and answer this question. If I go over here into the food library, and obviously, you know what he can eat, right, Tiffany? So you know what he can eat. You're going to want to look those bits of information up and then make an approved meal out of it. Okay. But let me go into the, well, that was a bad choice. Lean protein was a bad choice for me to pick. But I can pick it. Okay. So he's allergic to dairy. So obviously you'd want to have no dairy in it. So I want to show you these filters. See all these filters right up here? There's a dairy-free filter. So if I click the dairy-free filter, that's going to take anything with dairy out of the lean protein. And you're going to want to know what lean proteins he can eat because that's important. Okay. So eggs really wouldn't be right there. We could just, you just not, don't eat them. Nuts and wheat. Okay, so it needs it. Well, there's probably no wheat in these other lean proteins. But when you go over to some of the other categories, you can click this gluten-free right there. Okay. Or I don't know if it has just a wheat-free one, but this is what the filters are. All right. Awesome, Dawn. Oh, I like it, Sherry. Sherry's on here and she did fast track last week and she says it's better with a community of people over the recorded classes. It does help. Yes, Dawn, this site is amazing. Thank you for saying that. That's awesome. Thank you. Okay, so we know our rule. Now, last night, remember I told you guys that there were 5 of the 7 categories because there's 7 categories of food, but there's 5 of them that you can eat alone. Which 5 can you eat by themselves? Tracy, keto diet has wrecked the lean meat, fat-free choices in my grocery chains. True. But they're still there. They're still there, Tracy. You can get them. You can get them. Because I think that's happening all over the place. But I find them, everything, they're good. Okay, so y'all tell me. Okay, Dawn just simplified it. You can eat all of them by themselves except category 3 and category 5. That's awesome. Thank you, Dawn. Okay, so category 1 lean protein. You can do 2 to 8 ounces of that. Now, I'm just going to tell you, I'm giving you these ounces just so that you can be mentally aware. I have never measured any of it. I put it underneath this is my lean protein hand right here, okay? I put it underneath my hand, I cover it, and if I can't see it, I'm good to go. But if you do want to measure, 2 to 8 ounces is what you want to stick with. Men usually can go up to 8 ounces. Ladies, if you're looking for best option, 6 ounces. Okay, egg whites are here. All fish, chicken breast, turkey breast, pork tenderloin, boar's head turkey, boar's head chicken breast, boar's head London broil, low-fat cottage cheese, fat-free cottage cheese, Greek plain yogurt, and Hebrew National 97% lean beef frank, and 96% lean ground meat. Now, please know, this is a tiny list, very tiny. And there's massive amounts of food. In fact, right here, when I click, this is all lean proteins right here. And I could click show more. So there's just tons and tons in there. So, but that's just a small list. See, in the beginning, we don't need a massive list. We need small things. Okay, and I'm going to answer that question about the boar's head. So right here, this 96% lean ground meat, this would be beef, chicken, turkey, and that processed meat that we make taco seasoning or taco meat or spaghetti sauce with. And then you've got low fat and fat free cottage cheese here, but full fat cottage cheese is actually on the lifestyle. It's just a category 4 protein plus fat. Awesome, Raymond. Thank you. Good. The reason that boar's head is listed specifically is because we just know it's a very lean meat, but you can have any deli meat that is for a lean protein. It needs to have less than 20% of your calories from fat. Now, you can just go and look at it, and if less than 20% of the calories come from fat, it can be any deli meat, all right? Or you can look it up in the food library and know the brand specific and all of that. But we just list out boar's head because in the beginning, people are just like, give me what's easy, give me what's easy. And we know boar's head is really lean. Pork tenderloin. Most pork products are a category 4 protein plus fat, but the pork tenderloin is a lean protein. If you see visible fat on there, please trim that off because we use lean proteins to keep us safe when we eat it with an energy carb. Okay. So what this row is saying right here is that you can eat lean protein by itself. You can cook it up in the right oil, doctor it up with some condiments, and have a very simple fat burning meal. Most of the time, people aren't going to eat that just by itself, but it's important to learn all the little nuances and things that you can do because you aren't always going to be in the optimal eating situation. Okay. All right, we have a brand new category here. Category 2, fibrous carbs. Half a cup up to 1 cup. Now, when you are in weight loss mode, half a cup is best. You can go up to 1 cup when you get to maintenance, but half a cup is best in weight loss. Broccoli, asparagus, squash, okra, green leafy vegetables, spinach, cabbage, cucumbers, bell peppers, hot peppers, cauliflower, kraut, dill pickles, green beans, and obviously this list is small too. But this right here, this is food combining. You simply take something from category 1, lean protein, and you pick something from category 2, fibrous carbs, that you're willing to eat together. I'm gonna make something real simple. Chicken and green beans. Cook it up in some MCT oil if you have it, or another oil if you don't have that one. And you can use some condiments to doctor it up. And there you go. That is the basics of food combining. Something from this meal, category, and something from this category to get together. You can have a salad. Salad would be green leafy vegetables. You could even put cucumbers on there. You could do some bell peppers on there. You could then even put some protein source on there, and then you can have more than 1 fibrous carb if you're making a salad. You could even, let's just say this, let's say you put chicken breast right here, and then you want broccoli and green beans. You could do that, but your broccoli and green beans need to fit underneath this hand, okay? And you don't need to see it, but you can put 2 fibrous carbs right there. Yes. Okay, Susie, tomatoes in salad. Only if it's a smidge, but we'll talk about tomatoes in just a second. And Christy, do you have to cook the meat in the oil fat category? Do you have to cook the meat in the oil fat category? Could you dry grill it? You can dry grill it. You don't have to cook oil in it, if that's what you're asking me. So this is simple. That was the simple food combining. So now we have category 7, shellfish, 2 to 8 ounces again. Rachel, you can have more than half a cup of salad, because salad would be like your main thing. Now, if you're doing a little side salad, it shouldn't be like this big giant side salad. But if salad is like your main thing, and then you're going to put a little piece of chicken breast or something on top and cut it up, or maybe some boiled eggs and stuff, you can do that. Totally can use the air fryer, Stacy. Yes. No, you don't have to use it, Christy. No, nope, it's totally fine. Okay, 2 to 8 ounces on shellfish. Now, shellfish is anything but fish. Fish goes in your lean protein category, but this is all the other animals or critters that live in water. And they go right here. Crab, lobster, shrimp, scallops, oysters, mussels, clams, and such. Even if it doesn't have a shell, like squid or octopus, they don't have a shell. It would still go right there, okay? You can cook it up in the right oil. And this is often when people use ghee butter, because lobster, crab, shrimp, a lot of times you eat that with butter. So you might use ghee butter for that. Doctor it up with the right condiments, and you would have an excellent fat burning meal. As long as the popcorn shrimp is not fried and battered, Tiffany, if that's what you're talking about. But if it's fried and battered, no. And not for a perfect day. You could still eat it. It just wouldn't be a perfect day, I don't think. Tell me more about those popcorn shrimp that you're talking about. Okay, now what we're doing is we are picking something from the shellfish category and putting it with something from this fibrous carb category and cooking it up in the right oil and doctoring up with the right condiments, and you would have another combination. Okay, we're combining, and these are excellent for fat burning. A lean protein and a fibrous carb cooked up in an MCT oil is your fastest fat burning combination. You are going to be blowtorching fat like you blowtorch butter. Okay, it is amazing. Going to come down here, we've got another category 4, protein plus fat. It's 2 to 6 ounces. Now you'll notice that the ounces went down just a little bit, and here's why. In 1 gram of protein, there's 9 calories. In 1 gram of fat, I'm sorry, I said that backwards. In 1 gram of protein, there's 4 calories. In 1 gram of fat, there's 9 calories. And so you would want to back off a little bit on that. But again, I've never even measured this. I just put the protein under this hand, put my other stuff under this hand, and I cover it. But it does come in handy when I go to a restaurant and if I order a steak and I'll say, oh yeah, I don't want more than a 6-ounce steak. Okay, so you got all of your whole eggs are here, all cuts of steak, pork ribs, beef ribs, pulled pork, beef brisket, 93% lean up to 95.9% lean ground meat, and turkey kielbasa as long as no more than 50% of the calories come from fat. Now, remember earlier when I answered the question about the deli meat and I said you don't want more than 20% of your calories to come from fat for it to be a lean protein, but in category 4, protein plus fat, you don't want more than 50% of your calories to come from fat. If it does, it's not approved, okay? 93% lean up to 95.9% lean, that's your ground processed meat, the one that you'd make spaghetti sauce or turkey meat with, things like, not turkey, taco meat with. 93% lean up to 95.9 is a protein plus fat. Anything less than 93% lean is not approved for a perfect day. It's too fatty. Basically, what they've done is they have taken a whole bunch of fat and added a little bit of meat to it. And it sounds like it's lean, but it's not. Okay, so that's that. And basically, all of your pork really is here. So you can eat category 4 by itself. So let's say that you wake up in the morning and all you've got in your refrigerator to make would be some eggs. You can make some eggs, and unless you're allergic to them, like our other member just said that her husband was. Obviously, you don't want to eat them then, but you can eat them by themselves. Now, optimally, you'd put it with a category 2 fibrous carb if you're looking to, combine that. But you're okay if you just have like 2 whole eggs. Guys could go up to 3. So what this would show you right here is you've got a category 4. We're eating it with a category 2. So any category 4 can go with any category 2, and you can doctor it up with the right condiments. Now you're going to notice there's been a column right here, and all the other categories, there was the column right here. What is this column that's missing? Okay, Janet, so better to use MCT oil than not. Okay, so you do not have to use it, but if you want to make your fastest fat burning combination, then it would be good to use MCT oil. But that's really your own personal choice. But MCT is what you would want to use over any long chain triglycerides if you were using that. But I use MCT oil when I'm cooking my lean proteins. Yep, the oils are missing, Emily. That's because we don't need oils here that are fats. There's already fat in this. So I would for sure use 0-calorie cooking spray or water or whatever else I can cook this up in rather than oils. You've already got fat in it. You don't need to add fat to it. That's right, Janet. Awesome. Raymond, -1 condiment freebie, Cholula hot sauce. That sounds good. Are you saying you want to use that? Are you asking me about it, or did you look it up? You must have looked that up. Okay. So now we have a category 6 superfood. So a superfood has all 4 macronutrients in there, okay? So pintos, black beans, red beans, soybeans, peanut butter, nuts and seeds. So all of these things are superfoods. But again, that list is small. We're just trying to start to introduce you to whatever you like. You got to figure out what foods you like and what categories they go in. You can eat superfood by itself. And when this says a cup to 1.5 cups, this is if you're eating it by itself. If you're not eating it by itself, you're not going to do that much. It wouldn't fit underneath your hands. And let's see. Oh, okay. So a freebie is really something that you can use freely, Raymond. It's not going to hurt you. But what I don't like to do is I don't just want to eat it as a freebie. Are you going to be eating that hot sauce on a food? If so, I would call that a condiment, but it's a freebie. Yeah. It, I would just call it a condiment if you're going to use it with a meal like that. Can't imagine that you would just be dousing that down your throat as a freebie. Okay, on cabbage. Yeah, that's totally fine. You can put that on cabbage. Yes. Okay, category 6, superfood, eaten with a category 2 fibrous carb. This is where Travis says you get your greens and beans. Can nuts be a snack? They can. Let me see. Let's look up nuts real quick. Nuts. There's lots of nuts. Okay, all nuts, seeds. Let's click there. Superfoods or a snack. Okay, so right down here it says 1 handful of shelled nuts is a 0 weight loss meter snack. Up to 2 handfuls of shelled nuts is a -1 weight loss meter meal. So yes, you can use those as a snack. 1 handful. Okay, so this, but I want to point out to you that this is actually where you find peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So peanut butter obviously is right there, category 2. I mean category 6 superfood. But right here in this list, it's not listed here because vegetables are better than bread. But we do have well over 60 approved bread or bread type items in a category 2 fibrous carb column. So you just get a category 2 bread that you like and you just do a sugar-free jelly. So it could be sugar-free jelly. It could also be this this jam called Good Jam that is sweetened with stevia, but you could use that as a condiment. You've got peanut butter and jelly sandwich right here, okay? It's awesome. Nikki Kyle has lost 92 pounds and she eats a peanut butter and jelly sandwich every day. But we did have to show her how to have a fat burning peanut butter and jelly sandwich rather than a fat storing one. And that's it. She just made those simple swaps, okay? Along with other habits that she was doing. Sugar-free is fine. Yes, totally fine. Tracy. Well, there's sugar-free Smuckers, and if you're not wanting to do like a artificial sweetener, you could do the stevia sweetened Good Jam. Okay, now we have category 3 energy carbs. You could do a 1/4 cup in weight loss up to a 1/2 cup. 1/4 cup is going to sit about right here on your hands, okay? Now remember, ding, 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 category 3 energy carbs must be combined with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. So this must be eaten together, otherwise it won't work. Okay, now this is where we're getting into major secret alert. Okay, category 3 energy carb, white potato, sweet potato, all of the Simplies I don't think are sugar free. Janet, Quaker fiber and protein oatmeal, long grain brown rice, most lighter colored beans, all of your peas, tomato, onion, carrots, whole wheat and whole grain pasta. So I'm going to start at the bottom of this list and we're going to go up. Whole wheat and whole grain pasta. I want you to know there are better options. So carbonata is a better option. The fiber, if you like pasta, write this down. Fiber Gourmet. Fiber Gourmet. It is a category 2 fibrous carb pasta. And Raymond, yes, you can use the Explore Cuisine. There's soybean pasta, there's black bean pasta. There's tons of great pastas out there that aren't these, okay, that would be better for you, okay? But if you want to do these, there you go. Carrots. Carrots are a category 3 energy carb. When they are cooked, they are sweeter. They do elevate your blood sugar a bit, and your pancreas does secrete insulin, so you've got to deal with those carrots. But if you are just having a little palmful of those baby carrots as a freebie, you can do that as a freebie. But if you're eating carrots, they're cooked, they are an energy carb. Okay, tomato and onion. If you are having enough tomato that is equaling a quarter a cup or more, you need to call that a category 3. If you're having a smidge of tomato, just a little smidge, you can call it a condiment. But if you're having a quarter cup or more, call it a 3 and make sure that you keep yourself safe, okay? Same thing with onion. Same thing with onion. You want to do that and keep yourself safe. Now, on the salad question from earlier, salad stuff pretty much is going to come from this category, fibrous carb. If you're having more than a quarter cup of tomatoes, call it a 3, but you need to then make sure that you add a lean protein to it as well, okay? But if you're having just a little smidge of stuff, no bigger than like your thumb or something, just a smidge, or what like, and when I say a thin slice of something, you know, I'm trying to put it on a chicken breast or a hamburger patty, okay? But if you were also then just throwing that in your salad, you just, if it's that little of it, then it could be a condiment. But you want to keep in mind that salads sometimes you people want cheese on there and they want other things as their condiments. So you can still have that on the condiments. You just call your tomatoes your category 3, and then you can use maybe some fat-free cheese and stuff, or fat-free feta as a condiment. That would be fine. But if you're going to have a quarter cup or more of tomatoes or onions, call it a 3 so that you eat it with a category 2 fibrous carb and a category 1 lean protein, because that's going to keep you safe. Minced should be fine, Susie. You're probably not going to do too much of that. It should be fine. Garbanzo bean is actually a superfood, Tracy. So it's a superfood. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's say that you want to have some carrots, okay? About a quarter cup of carrots, cooked carrots, they go right there, okay? And you must eat it with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. I'm going to keep it real simple. Chicken breast, green beans. Looks like a classic plate, right? So these carrots are going to elevate your blood sugar. Your pancreas is going to secrete insulin. The protein in the chicken breast and the fiber in the green beans are going to neutralize the insulin release that came from the carrots. Boom. You just used food to be medicine. It controlled the insulin within the eating of that meal. Now, if you don't eat that all together, it doesn't work like I just described it, okay? So this is why you want to combine it properly. Let's see, Rachel. So I would have to include both onions and tomatoes. Correct, Rachel. Yeah, you definitely would not want to have a quarter cup of tomatoes and a quarter cup of onions. Yeah, if you're getting more than a quarter cup of category 3, you got to combine that with a 1 and a 2, okay? Yeah, you're right, Rachel. And you're going to notice right here, there is no oil column here, because if you have oils with this category 3, it is going to store the fat and the oils. So we're not going to, like on this salad, if you made a salad like this, you would not put whole eggs on this. Now, if you wanted to do egg whites, on your salad, you could do that. Like, take up some boiled eggs and take the yolk out and then cut up those egg whites. You could do that. That would be fine. But you got to combine that to keep yourself in EFB. That's the important thing. We want to remain in efficient fat burning. All right, category 5, fruit. I'm just going to read the top 4. All fruit goes in fruit. Berries, apples, oranges, and grapefruit. Those are the best for weight loss. That's why I read those. But fruit, remember yesterday how I said that there's two modes on Shibboleth: weight loss mode and maintenance mode. There's 3 differences between weight loss mode and maintenance. 1, the number of holidays that you can use in a calendar month. 2, how you eat fruit. 3, your mindset. You might be starting this off as a diet right now, but to be able to keep the results that you get by living this lifestyle, you got to know that this is a lifestyle. You can't just go back to old habits after you get to where you want to be. So, but fruit, when you are in weight loss mode, fruit must be combined properly with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. Once you get to maintenance, you can have a piece of fruit as a snack if you want to, but not in weight loss. Keep in mind, in weight loss, that's a different nutritional situation that you're in than maintenance. Because in weight loss, we're wanting to be right and tight to stay in efficient fat burning. So if you want to eat fruit in weight loss, it must be eaten with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. So let's say that you want to wake up, you wake up and you want some berries. Well, it's egg white spinach omelet if you like that. If you don't like that, then you could have it with maybe some low-fat cottage cheese or Greek plain yogurt. And then you could have it, it's not listed right here, but people love hemp flakes. You could put some hemp flakes in there, and that would make a really great parfait. Okay, so let's say that you wanted some berries, but you can't do eggs and you can't do dairy. Maybe you make yourself a turkey wrap, and we use an Olay Extreme Wellness high fiber tortilla. You could do that. That would also make a great lunch. It'd be a really great lunch to take and to work. Now you're also going to know right here there is no oils here, because the fruit is going to elevate your blood sugar, and we don't want any oils in there to capture it. So we're not going to eat that with fat. Okay. All right. So that was just kind of simple food combining. But now you have got this right here. When we go to the fast track laps, fast track lap 1. In lap 1, right here is a phase 1 combination chart. Let me show you how to read this chart. Blue, this is what we call the lifestyle column, meaning that you want to know how to do these, because in life you may want more than just super simple meals. You may want something. So let me read this to you. This is category 1 lean protein, eaten with a category 6 superfood, eaten with a category 2 fibrous carb. So this book looks like chicken breast, black beans, and green beans. That's simply what that looks like. Let's come right over here. This looks like steak and broccoli, because a protein plus fat is steak. Broccoli is a fibrous carb. Okay, let's come over here. This looks like chicken breast and green beans. Okay, y'all see what we're doing here? So you just got to know, okay, I can have a lean protein with a fibrous carb, but your job this week is to make lists of all the things that you like. And then you just go, okay, I need something from this list and something from this list. You cook it and you eat it. But what we're going over tonight is, just trying to show you the picture of the things that could go together, some options. Okay, category 2, breads. Less is best. And you really don't want more than 100 calories of bread in a meal. Okay, it's too much. La Tortilla Factory 50-calorie tortilla, Olay Extreme Wellness high fiber tortilla, Healthy Life bread, Bran Crisp bread, which is more like a dry, hard cracker. They're good. I like them, but it's more like a cracker, not bread. Healthy Life hot dog buns, Thomas Light 100-calorie English muffins. So all of those things. And that's just a small list. There's over 60, but these are all category 2 breads. Let's see, Sherry. So if you have chicken breast and green beans and baked apple, then you cannot use MCT with the chicken. Correct. Correct, Sherry. That was good application there. Raymond, can you have 2 of the 50-calorie tortillas? You can, but I'm just going to say that I don't typically. I find that I don't really need it, Raymond. Okay, so if this is kind of the way I do it. If I'm making myself a wrap, I just do one, because always less is best in that. Okay. I just do one. They're typically filling with one. I fill it with whatever I want to fill it that's approved, and I'll do an approved chip or bell peppers or something on the side. what would you be using? What would you be doing with 2, Raymond? Tell me. Okay, then approved sweeteners, stevia, a Mexican pizza, like have one on top and one on the bottom, and the Mexican pizza stuff in the center. Is that what you're saying? You could do it. You could do it. You may want to try. See, what I've learned is that I do pretty much everything open faced. Now, but you could definitely do that, Raymond. It fits the qualification. But just keep in mind, less bread is best. And if you could do an open faced, it would probably be a better option. Okay. If anybody ever looked at um, your journal and they see that, they would probably say, hey, if you're slowed down for any reason, remove one of those. Okay, that they probably just tell you that. Tiffany, can you tell me how to figure out if a brand of bacon is approved if I can't find the specific brand? Okay, well, on any protein plus fat, you never want anything more than 50% of the calories from fat. So what you would do is you would look and see how many calories are coming from fat. So that's the way you would do that, Tiffany. There's a lot of bacon in if you live near a Kroger, their private selection center cut is approved. And it'll tell you exactly how to do that. Let's see. You're welcome, Raymond. Let's see. Can you use liquid, sweet and low, no calories? Yes, Tom. Okay. Let me pick up a nutrition label in just a second, Tracy. You're welcome, Tiffany. So Tracy, okay, so let's say that you have let me do that in a second, Tracy. Let me move through this real quick. So any 0-calorie sweetener works fine. So any 0-calorie sweetener, because we are trying to keep our blood sugar regulated. This is one of the things that they're not talking about out there in diet world. But see, we're not diet world. We are eating the way we should be eating. Okay, approved beverages as needed. Obviously, water. Nothing takes the place of your water. You always focus on getting that in. 0-calorie beverages of any type, unsweet or approved tea, and you can do coffee with 15 calories of approved sweetener if you want it. Cheese, any fat-free cheese works fine. Most of them are a category 1 lean protein, but there are some that are category 4 protein plus fat. So for example, 2% American singles, this Cabot extra light cheese, the Sargento reduced fat cheese, all of those are category 4 protein plus fats. You just want to keep in mind how you're using them. If you're using them to make a grilled cheese, then you're not going to want to put any category 3 energy carbs or fruit with it. But if you are doing a grilled cheese, like a category 1, I like this Borden fat-free cheese. Let's say you're doing that with some Sara Lee 45 calorie delightful, and then you just wanted a small apple or something with it, that's fine. That's a category 1, 2, and 5. You just make sure that the items are approved, okay? Let's see, sparkling water, not as your actual water, Donna. You can drink sparkling water, but not as this water. Yeah, Laughing Cow is a cheese. It's just a little cheese. It comes in a round container and it's little cheese wedges, and it's good. I like it. Raymond, I use that in place of mayo. So I really like it. Just bought some more yesterday. We don't sell high-low, Janet, at our store. High-low is found out in other grocery stores. I don't know which one. I think I've seen it at Ingles, but you may not have an Ingles near you. But just go onto the high-low website and find a store locator, because I don't know where all high-low is sold. The AHS brands, I don't know where else they're sold besides Shibboleth on that. But the high-low sold lots of grocery stores. But the Advanced Health System brand, I think possibly other places, but I don't know the answer to that. Okay. Yes, thank you, Donna. And then is that a condiment? Yes, it's a condiment, but we can look it up too. I'll come back around to that in just a second, Raymond, and we'll look that up. Now, this is just talking about cheese right here as condiments, but you can use these cheeses as a category 1 or category 4. Sheila, these questions are coming in the Zoom room. That's why you can't see them. Okay, because you're on Facebook. So these are from the Zoom room. This is extremely important. Lean protein milk. if you are going to drink milk, now you don't have to, milk's not required. But if you are going to drink milk, it needs to be fat-free Fairlife milk or Kroger Carb Master milk, especially if you are having cereal, okay? Because cereal is starchy. Even approved cereals, which we have big long lists of approved cereals, even the best is starchy. And you need low fat or no fat and high protein to offset that. And that's why we use these too. This can be used as a category 1 lean protein. And if you're doing that, that would be used as a component of a meal. You could do 8 ounces. If you were just drinking a big old glass of milk as you're leaving the house out for the day, you can do up to 16 ounces if you wanted to. Let's see, Rachel, okay to use unsweet iced tea and sugar-free. Yes, that's fine. That's fine, Rachel. Unsweet iced tea with sugar-free peach flavoring uses. That's fine, Rachel. Almond milk. Unsweetened almond milk works as a category 4 protein plus fat, June. But you want to make sure that if you are drinking it with cereal, I mean, if you're using it with cereal, it must be a phase 1 cereal. We'll talk about that in just a second. And then Sherry says, can you have PB&J sandwich with Carb Master? So PB&J is yeah, you can, Sherry. Because the Carb Master is a category 1 lean protein, and the peanut butter is a 6, and then the bread that you would use, you'd want to pick a category 2. Yes, you can do that. Can I use almond milk in a protein shake meal replacement? So Raymond, I would not do that. Most of the time, our most highly recommended way to make a protein shake is with water. It typically has enough protein in it. If you want something to make it more like meaty, let's say meaty, Egg Whites International. Now that's going to be a very specific way to use that too. Okay. So let's click on almond milk in just a second, but we usually make our recommended, check your protein shakes too, folks, because I thought that my protein shake that I was using before Shibboleth would have been a good one, and it wasn't approved. So make sure that it's approved protein shake. Gloria, do you like chicken? Okay, so let's come down here. Breadings and flours. This is awesome. Okay, coconut flour, carb quick flour, Bob's TVP, which is a textured vegetable protein, and almond flour. These are all category 2 fibrous carbs. This is great news. You can make an approved perfect cornbread with it, okay? This carb quick flour, if you've ever used flour or Bisquick, this is the replacement. You can make cheddar garlic biscuits, which is great. I make pancakes with this. What else do I use carb quick flour? Oh, I will take some chicken and batter it up with some egg whites and then put carb quick on it, and I bake that up. I bake that up in ghee butter, and it is delicious, absolutely delicious. And then Susie, you don't have to remember it all. You just start off simple. You just start off simple. And Christy just says print it out and put it in a binder. But Susie, all you need to know how to do is make a category 1 and 2 meal. 1 and 2. And let me just show you something. Okay. See, this is a document that was in lap 1. What this document shows you right here in the center is a lot of category 2 things. This box here, you can pick something from here and eat it with something from here. And this, in the beginning, keep it super, super simple. You don't need complicated in the beginning. You need simple. And then what we're used to doing is just what we've gotten used to doing over however number of years you are old. You're just used to doing what you're doing. And what we do now is we're going to just keep it simple while we're switching over our habits, while we're figuring out the new items to buy in the grocery store. Y'all, that is extremely valuable. Being able to figure out the new things that you need to be buying in the grocery store and being swapping over is very valuable. So then this category 2 column here, you could put a superfood with it. You could put shellfish with it. So this is just showing you how these go together. Use this doc. Emily says that she uses this document all the time. So Susie, all you got to do is come and be with us. Don't back away. You engage, okay? You got to engage. Think about this. If somebody when kids go to school, they got all kinds of stuff they've got to learn, right? We just never learned this in school. We have got to take the time to learn it. But you can do it. You can do it. You're eating now. You are eating now. We just have to figure out how to put these things together in a way that controls insulin. And there are so many videos on the website. What I do is I just put a video on in the car and just listen. I've listened to them because I want to hear this information over and over and over. Oh, and Janet is saying that this is her 3rd Monday night class. She has come back for 3 times because it takes time to hear it. And you might be picking up a few things tonight, but all you need is a few. And then the next time you get something else, you pull those in. The next time you get something else. And I'm talking like tomorrow night in Fast Track, we are playing in that food library. We are brainstorming ideas. I would actually love for y'all to hopefully have looked at lap 3 before tomorrow night. I would like for you to take this quiz before tomorrow night, but you want to get through these things. None of them take a long time, okay? Okay, and we're going to build meals on this worksheet. Look, I love this worksheet. You're going to make your favorites, lean proteins, your favorite fibrous carbs, your favorite energy carbs, your favorite protein plus fat. And then you're going to put some category lean protein with a fibrous carb here. Right here, you're going to put a lean protein, a fibrous carb, and an energy carb. Yes, awesome, Janet. So you just kind of make these things up. And we're going to look up freebies, extras, and snacks on, I think, Thursday night. Crescenda, how many 1 + 2 meals do we eat a day? You can eat up to 3. You can eat up to 3 1 + 2 meals a day. Awesome. Susie, you're going to get it. Just don't leave us. Don't back away, because if you ever back away, you've given up. Don't back away. You stay engaged. You're worth it. You're worth it. Okay. All right, let's talk about this cereal right here. Kashigo Lean Original, K's Natural Cereal, and the High-Low Nutritious Living. So I'm going to pop over into the food library because I want to show you something about cereal since y'all asked about almond milk, okay? I'm going to go to the food library. And over here, do you see where it says phase 1 cereal and phase 2 cereal? This is the approved cereals. I'm going to click on phase 1 cereal. If you want to use almond milk for cereal, it must be with a phase 1 cereal only. Okay? Can't be with a phase 2 cereal because those are starchier, way starchier. And we figured out that they'll work with this. So almond milk would go with this, okay. But let's click on phase 2 cereal. Phase 2 cereal, let me just tell you what one of the most valuable things that you have in your hands right now, food library. You look up items, you see how to use them, you make a plan on how to use them that way. Okay, phase 2 cereal. Look, Captain Crunch is in there. But you would not use almond milk with these things because these are starchy. They will capture the fat in the almond milk and it will store it. If you want some of these phase 2 cereals, it must be with the high protein, no fat milk like fat-free Fairlife or Kroger Carb Master. Okay, hang on. You're welcome. And Stacy is asking, I'm just starting. Do I only eat 1 and 2 meals? Actually, Stacy, you can do more than just 1 and 2 meals. So anything, let's go back to Fast Track. But hey, Stacy, 1 and 2 meals are the simplest and they're going to get you the absolute best results. So if you're looking for For that, that would be good. But now keep in mind too, I don't know if you eat shellfish, Stacy, but shellfish would be a lean protein as well. So any lean protein with a category 2 is great. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to print this chart right here. And then you can do any of this. Now keep in mind the yellow is faster and then the red is the fastest. These are variations of charts. All of them will work. You could do absolutely any of that. Thank you, Susie. Good, good. You can tell that I've experienced people getting like overwhelmed. It is a lot of information and then leaving. I'm like, don't leave. You have to stay. You know, we went through 13 years of school to, you know, figure out all of that stuff. So we won't take that long, but just stay engaged. Okay. But no, so Stacy, you can do more than category 1 and 2s, but that would be super simple and very easy to get you some really great results. Okay. But when we get to lap 6, here's an advanced combination chart. That gives you even more. This is actually my favorite combination chart. This is going to be at lap 6 because we're just trying to keep it super simple in the beginning. We do know it's lots of new info. Okay. Mary, it is not too hard for you. Mary, can you drink water? Can you get 4 of these in a day, Mary? Can you write down what you're eating? Can you portion control your food? And can you eat 3 meals a day? And then if you get hungry between meals and need something, can you do a freebie, an extra, or a snack? Can you do that? And I'm going to wait for your answer because I do want to see that. Okay. Okay, Tracy, what is the difference between phases? Okay, phase 1 is actually the best of the best because phase 1 is, well, hang on, let me go back. I'm only going to talk about phase 1 and phase 2 right now. I'm not going to talk about any other phases because I don't want to confuse people. Phase 1 is high quality, whole foods, and the best packaged foods. Phase 2 only means that you got Captain Crunch available to you. It means that you've got soups, canned soups available, that you've got frozen meals available. So it's just opening up the food, the grocery store for more variety. So just think of phase 2 as more variety, but it's not necessarily better food for you, okay? But it can still all be used as long as you do it in the right combinations. Let's see, Christy, figuring out breakfast has been my biggest challenge so far. Everything else I can do. Okay, now Christy, go into the Shibboleth new member food lab. No. Go into the Shibboleth Silver Level Facebook group and type in breakfast in the search bar and read what people do for breakfast, okay? Also, please know that you can schedule a mentor appointment. Mentor appointments, y'all, are included for free for them to help you figure out what you like to eat. And these are personalized mentor appointments. They're only talking to you. So you can say, I like to eat this. What can I do with it? Okay, and they'll help you with that. But right here, look at this. Travis's fast start meal ideas is in lap 1. Here's some breakfasts right here, Christy. Maybe you can do that. And guess what? In lap 6, we're going to use our meal plan generator. And that would be a great thing to do about breakfast too. Cereal can be a meal, but here, you never eat cereal dry unless they have said you could eat that cereal dry. Typically, that's only one of our advanced health system cereals. But cereal is not meant to be eaten dry. You can have it as a meal, but it should be with one of those high protein, no fat milks. Okay. Okay. Dawn is asking, I'm going to stop sharing this for a second. Why is a category 1 plus MCT better than a category 1 and 2? MCT has a metabolism building effect. And it has a muscle preserving effect. We want to preserve our muscles in Shibboleth. Not saying that if you don't use it, you're not going to preserve muscles, because we do get all the nutrients that we need to do that. But MCT helps you burn a few extra calories. It has a metabolism building effect. So it burns a few extra calories, Dawn. So that's why. You're welcome, Stacy. Let's see, Mary. Okay, Mary, I like your answer. Yes, Mary. So the reason I asked you about those 4 things first is because I didn't even ask you about the food. Because part of what we do, Mary, drinking the water, writing down what we eat, portion controlling, and not having more than 3 meals a day. And then if we need to, having an approved little item. Part of what we do and get our results has to do with that. Okay. I do understand that coming up with what you're going to eat is the biggie, right? It's the biggie. It's what you're going to eat. So you're going to want to explore in the website, and you're going to want to come back to this class every single night. I told somebody last week, come every night for a month. If you have to, come every night for a month. Do not give up, because you will get it. Because as you are putting into practice the things that you are learning, all of it is going to start to come together. We don't learn things overnight typically. Okay. Y'all got to keep coming back, but you can do it, Mary. I know you can. Mary, you're eating now. We just need to figure out what it is you're eating now and what you need to switch it to. Yes, and Tracy says the Facebook groups have been a lifesaver. Y'all get in there and ask questions. And if you're asking something that you think other people have asked before, then go ahead and use the search bar for that and then read those, because you're going to read those. You got tons and tons of comments. Yes, and Janet says mentor appointments are wonderful. Awesome, Christy, good. And Janet says getting in the water is her biggest problem. Yep, we just kind of just keep working on it. What I do is I set out all the water on the counter in the morning, and I want to see it leaving throughout the day. Janet, I set a timer for 30 minutes, and I start that early in the day, and I go in there and drink water, water, water. Awesome. Susie, I've got two Janets on here. Are they both Janet Wilsons? Oh no, they got Janet Williams and Janet Wilson. Those were close. Thank you, Janet, for pointing that out. Okay, Susie, I'm gonna tell you a secret. Go back over here. Susie, if you go right here to lap 2 and you click right here where it says watch the daily fast track webinars, here's Tuesday night of last week and here's Wednesday night of last week. There they are. They're already there. And I'll be going over the same thing. Now, obviously, different questions are asked, and I'll be able to answer those. But this and this is where you're going to find those. Okay. And let's see. Sherry, just like me, I learned tonight no MCT with fruit. And this is Sherry's second time around. Yes, yes. And then Dawn, I'm almost overwhelmed at the many different Facebook groups. Which are best? I think you said just do fast track for a week or two. Okay, I need to remove that thing about leaving the fast track group. You can if you want to, but let me just tell you this. In lap 1, the Facebook groups that I want you to be in, new member fast track group, I want you to like the Shibboleth public page. I want you to be in the silver level page and the fixed it. Well, these are groups. I want you to be in those groups. The silver group is our main group. The new member fast track is if you want to leave that one after you've done fast track and you feel like you've got it, but I mean, lots of good things are said there. This group right here, the Shibboleth Fixed It group, this is a very specific group. Our food guru, Kim Shibboleth, monitors this group. And if you look up an item in the food library and it is not there, if it's not there, then you can take a picture of the front of the item and the back of the item and you post it right here in this Fixed It group. If you can use it, she'll add it to the food library, and we all have something added to the food library that we can benefit from. But if it's not approved for a perfect day, then you're going to want to understand why it's not approved, and she'll tell you why. You can still use it on a holiday, but you wouldn't want to use it for a perfect day. So Kim Shibboleth, yeah, Tracy's saying that Kim is great. And Kim Shibboleth is different than me. Okay, that's not me. She's awesome. So new member fast track group, silver level group, and fixed it group. Those are the only 3 that you really need in the beginning. And like the public page so that you can participate in this that we're doing right here if you don't catch it in the Zoom room, although I prefer that you come over here because it's easier for me to chat with you because it's immediate chatting. Facebook is always delayed. And then I also do the Shibby show in the mornings. It is a morning show. It's daily devotion and morning motivation. Susie, how do I become silver level? What level are you now, Susie? And then Donna, what if your food is not in the approved list? My vegan protein. You take a picture of the front of the item and the back of the item and you post it in the Shibboleth Fixed It Facebook group. Susie, if you're tiger level, you already have silver. Tiger is the highest you can have, and you have access to everything. Emily says she loves the Shibby Show. Awesome. I'm glad that you joined me. Yes. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Well, y'all, I went over a little bit tonight, but I hope that because y'all asked awesome questions, and I know that all of these questions are important. How I want you to see the fast track laps, blinders on, blinders. Walk your way through every step in every lap. It builds, okay? It builds. And they're not hard. They're not hard, okay? But they're listed out there because you know how, if has anybody ever said to you, if you want to accomplish a goal, you break it down into small little bite-sized pieces to accomplish that goal. So you just do the first one. You do the second one. And when you do them, you just check the box after you've done them, okay? And that'll let you have an organized way. Michelle Harper on Facebook is saying that everybody can do this. She has lost 70 pounds since March of 2020. Watch the Shibby Show every morning. Kim Danke is such, and it says ... I can't read it. And Polly Jones, who is on Facebook with us right now, y'all, 87 years old, okay, and has been doing Shibboleth for 6 years now. I think it's 6. Patricia Hurt is 80 years old. She's been doing Shibboleth for 7 years, maintaining a 50-pound weight loss. Yes, Deborah, you never give up. Listen, all I want y'all to know, don't be overwhelmed in the beginning. You're welcome, Yvonne. You're welcome, Phyllis. Awesome. Good, Phyllis. I'm glad. Thank you, Dawn. Yeah, Dawn, you're right. I do it over and over and over, but I'm so excited. I want everybody to know this information. This is life-changing information. So life-changing in a few ways. Do you have excess weight to get off? If you do, that's got to go because that's causing health problems. Maybe you don't have excess weight, but you've got pre-diabetic or diabetic conditions because sometimes that happens. You learning this information is going to help with all of that. Y'all just keep coming right back here every single night. You're welcome, Tina. You're welcome. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Arden. Y'all are awesome. Thank you so much. But oh, good, Emily. That's funny. We can do it, Tina. We can do it, y'all. We can lose lots and lots of weight. We just had a video, y'all. There's so much. You can do that, Tina. You can do it. I was with Pinky Quick the other night. She's lost 138 pounds. I was with not with, but she did a video the other day. Pinky and oh my goodness. Missy Barrett and her husband in just a little over a year together, they've lost 345 pounds. Okay. She's lost 172. He's lost 173. Pinky's lost 138. Kat has lost 110. Pinky's brother has lost over 100. Pinky's sister-in-law has lost over 100. Okay. This is, yeah, we're not playing. If you do what Shibboleth prescribes, we call it T-scribes because Travis has written this. This is his lifestyle. Travis is the founder. If you'll do what it says, the results will be good. What we've got to keep in mind, y'all, is we have habits to change. And that sometimes is where the hard part comes in. You know, we can say, okay, I get my water in. And I want to say this might be like work in the beginning. It might be, but don't be scared of a little work. Okay. You are important enough for you to pour in a little bit of work to you. I bet that you have taken care of a lot of people in your life and you need to take care of you. Okay. It might be a little bit of work, but it won't be work forever. I have been doing awesome. Awesome. I have been doing this now for 2 years. My mindset is just getting like better and better and better. And I'm just so thankful. This is what we need. We've got to stick together though. Y'all got to stick with me, okay? Awesome. You're welcome, Christy. Okay, so now let's see, Polly. Okay, Polly, good. Okay, awesome. Okay, so in the morning, y'all can join me for the Shibby Show. It normally starts between 7:30 and 7:40-ish because I got to get up and get ready, and I don't want to rush. If I had to put 7:30 on the dot to be down here and be on there, that wouldn't make it no fun anymore, and I wouldn't want to do it. So I get there between 7:30 and 7:40, and then I do it. Yay, Phyllis! I'm glad. I love that. Y'all got to stay with us no matter what. Never give up. There is no reason to give up. We have free mentor appointments at all times with our mentors. Free. So you just call them. You talk to them. You say, I got to do this. And then you figure it out. Water. Write down what you eat. Portion control. And let's stop grazing. No more than 3 meals a day. If you need something, do an approved freebie, an extra, or a snack. And then we're going to learn to eat food in a way that controls insulin. You can use let me show y'all this. Sorry. It's not that I don't think it, I just know that it's a lot to cover. In lap 2, right here where it says watch the daily fast track webinars, this one is the one from last week. When you click on this webinar, it's a video. Do you see how if I click here, there's that link that I used tonight. You can use that. And this is a worksheet, okay? But I want to go back one more. If you have not watched Sunday night, last night, got to go back and watch that. And Mary Langley, you were with me last night, right? If y'all need to watch this again, watch it again. Click here. And if you want to see the PowerPoint that I used last night to have all the things to remind you, there's the PowerPoint. There's the basics. Print this baby, 3-hole punch it, put it in a binder, and live by it. These are the things we need to be doing anyway. Okay, to join Tina, are you talking about the Shibby Show? I do that on the Shibboleth public Facebook page, and you will join that as you work through lap 1. That's one of the tasks. Oh, the nutrition label on the back. Okay. Okay, from the back question. Okay, awesome. Okay, all right. So we're going to go find a nutrition label on something. Okay, let's see, the internet. I really like these things, turkey, cheddar, smoked sausages. I like these Johnsonville turkey, cheddar, smoked sausages. These are good. All right, I'm gonna click there. They actually are a category 4 protein plus fat. There they are. One just says turkey. Where's the turkey cheddar one? But anyway, there's a nutrition label. Okay, so we've got 6 grams of fat right here, okay? There's 9 calories, 9 calories in a gram of fat. 9 times 6 is 54. 120 divided in half, because look right here, these are your calories. 120 divided in half is 60. Well, this is 54. That is less than half of what that is. That's okay. That's okay to eat. So that's what you do. Christy, does that make sense? You're going to take the fat grams, multiply it times 9, because that's the calories. Okay. Now, on some foods just tell you the fat, the calories from fat. But if they don't, you take the fat grams, multiply it times 9, and figure that out. Like, is it less than half of whatever the calories are? Then that would be a category 4. But I like for y'all to trust the food library. That's really where I want y'all to look for things, the food library. Christy, were you talking about bacon earlier? Because if you were talking about bacon, that was you. Okay, somebody else. Okay. then I would go to bacon. I mean, for bacon, I would just go here and type it in. Bacon. Now that's going to pull up everything that's got the word bacon in it, but that's okay. See, I'm talking to people from all over the country on these. And so you want to go into your area, and if it's not in here, put it in the Shibboleth Fixed It group. Get it added. If it works, get it added so people from all over can benefit. But if you have a Kroger near you, this is the bacon that people really like, because everybody wants a regular bacon. They're wanting a regular bacon. But see, regular bacon is too fat. But where's that? Right here. This private selection center cut bacon. The total fat in here is 4. Okay. So 4 times 9 is 36. Well, the calories per serving is 70. Half of 70 is actually 35. They must have just, oh, it says calories from fat, 35. So that's exactly half is what they're doing. So that's why that would work. Okay, Tracy, yeah, just do, you don't want more than 50% of the calories to come from fat. And just there's 9 calories and 1 gram of fat. So just take the grams of fat times 9. Awesome, Christy. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Dawn, I have a warm lemon water every morning upon waking before yeah, that's fine. Totally fine. Warm lemon water is good for you. That's good. Okay. Well, it's been nice to be with you tonight. I want to let you know that the rest of the meetings that we have are going to be meeting style. So we can be seen on the screen. This one's a lot to cover. Actually, I'm going to change it to all meeting styles. But anyway, just want to let you know that. So y'all come back tomorrow night. We're going to spend some more time together. Okay. But if possible, y'all go ahead and work on laps 1, 2, and 3. And it doesn't take long. You're welcome. You're welcome, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all have a great night. Bye.